Hey, what's going on, folks? This is Dimitri back again, and today we're gonna analyze the video called Living on $172,000 in New York City, Millennial Money. So let's go and analyze what's going on in the life of this person and see what we can take from that and apply it to our life so that we can become better, live better, and obviously make our lives better. So let's get started.
Obviously, it seems pretty crazy that a 23-year-old can make north of 6 figures, but really, you put in a lot of hours. It's all a very transparent path until you reach partner. Hi, my name is Drake Pooley. I'm 23 years old. So I entered consulting right out of school from grad school and have been with my firm for 2 years. Every day is different in consulting because we're always working with clients. So if I'm traveling and at a client city, I'm normally meeting with them and then working on generally models or financial reports for them and presentations. When I first moved to New York from Houston, I wanted to live in a nice place in the big city in Manhattan because that's what I had always dreamed. After the first year, I realized it was an incredibly expensive dream, and even though I could afford it, it wasn't the financially responsible thing to do, so I moved to Williamsburg where it was cheaper, but I could still access a lot of the same amenities that New York has. Food is the hardest thing to budget for on my lifestyle. Almost all of it is on going out because I'm only in New York around 3 days a week. Every month.
Okay, one second, dude. So we gotta analyze this really quick. Hold up a second. So go back. Let's see. Okay. So, all right, insurance and check insurance and things like that. One more second. Okay, there we go. So, all right. Well, what can I say? That was a pretty quick video actually, so I didn't really expect that because I think they cut off a lot on what's actually going on in the person's life, so they kind of cut it off. That's which is doesn't give us too much data on that, but at least the financial part is pretty much good. So savings is good. I like the part that I like the part that they put investments as oh, interesting. Okay, there's no, okay, so they put it as a saving. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, it's not like investments, that's a different category. So, but anyway, this is well, from our perspective it's the same idea, but anyway, housing, I can see that $1,500, about that. So small 16. So it's pretty much no. I would say it's normal in the New York City. I think he lives in. Travel. What is it? Trips, 5 reward credit cards. Is it personal? I don't think it's personal. It might be just like for business or whatever. I wonder if he's a personal. He has it's like personal business or just working for another company. But anyway, so the food part is $500. Yeah, I mean, I don't see, well, I'm not sure if it's his lifestyle. So his lifestyle really cut short, so I'm hoping that they kind of expand on that a little bit later. But food wise, $500, it's a little bit, I would say it's too much. Because depends. Well, if it's just like you need to spend money to meet your customers or you meet your clients, I think it's like a business expense. I wouldn't say it's like food your personal, unless company doesn't paying for that, which is kind of a little bit strange. But anyway, donation, clothes, entertainment. Okay, well, I can see that. Yeah, I guess medical debt. Okay, well, not too grand on that one. I mean, it's medical debt. I mean, if it's a personal and stuff like that, I mean, you gotta take care of the health. But if we can get rid of the debt quickly, definitely can get rid of it quickly. Right, so subscriptions and memberships. Well, this is there like we can cut off on that a lot. I mean, unless it's so. See, here's the thing. So donations, close entertainment, it's a separate field. Subscription membership, we can like. I don't think it's Netflix. Like, I mean, seriously, I stopped doing Spotify, but Netflix, like subscriptions and stuff like that. I don't have anything against those companies. They're great. They're doing great and things like that. But from a personal pocket, like, personal perspective and stuff like that, if you can afford it, like, sure. But if you can live, like, I can live without it, and I like live without it. It's like it doesn't bother to me, But it's like for me, it's not no brain. I don't need to have that. So right, utilities. $80 total split with roommate. Okay. Okay, I can see that. Okay, that's fine. I mean, I can see that. I can see that. That's pretty good actually. So, yeah. Insurance $70. Well, depends on, but I guess it's a car, I guess, so whatever. That's a total. There are like multiple other insurances, but transport. See, here's the thing: travel and transportation. Why is it like in two different categories? So I think this one is more like a businessy looking travel, which is this rather than this one. But overall, $6,000 for a person who makes like 175. Even though he does savings though, so he doesn't. I'm not sure if he does go over budget, right? So let's go see calculator, right? So see. Oh, can get it here. That's interesting. Oh yeah, I guess so. But yeah. I mean that's pretty much good, looking good. So 6,000, 6,561 multiply by. Yeah, I mean that's pretty good. It's pretty good. So I mean he does live below his needs. So the rest of his savings, so he got money in the pocket. So rest of his stuff is going well. So here's the thing. Here's the real kicker. So he spends, well, it's roughly, but he spends about 70 grand, 75 grand a year versus 172 that he makes, right? So I would like roughly, I would say 30%, well, not even 30, 40% of his income, I would say, go to like his living expenses. The rest 60 is like he lives in the account or what have you. So it's roughly, so if it's a monthly budget and he makes like 172 grand, it's pretty good. So meaning that the budget, one of the key thing that we guys learn, budget is to have a budget is good. It keeps it on track, it keeps you guys focused, it keeps you motivated, it keeps you like, I'm not sure motivated, but it keeps things gives you a perspective, or like how the breath on like heartbeat, sort of speak, of where we are standing in our finances. So, and he's doing pretty good for $6,000 a month. Living in the six, like, and getting this amount of money, he's good. I mean, he's good. I mean, in terms of what he doesn't spend much. So there are two key lessons right now that we learn: to have a budget. So to have, like, we know, and we like, you guys learn to follow on my channel, like, subscribe. So we know, we talk about budget a lot, and then a lot. So budget is good. So, and to live on 172 per year, I mean, and spend as much as like 70 grand, which is normal. I mean, like, I mean, it's not normal, but hey, even though he a little bit mentioned that he spends a little bit more than he should have. So even though he's not like going beyond the budget, beyond the way he lives on, so he's not like really stretched out his money. So that's what I'm saying. So he's in a really good position, to be honest. So hey, yeah, it's pretty good. So overall, it's looking good. Plus he saves. So the budget, even though with that, so if we defer that amount, right? So it's about what, 3 grand? He lives on 380, 3,800, somewhere around that, something like that, just roughly. Dude, this is good. Just expenses, 3,800. Dude, this is great, man. This is great. So yeah, let's continue.
Going out because I'm only in New York around 3 days a week. Every month I invest $500 in a Wealthsimple Roth IRA that's invested in a social impact portfolio. I paid off $12,000 of student loans in 5 months whenever I first moved to New York. I was very strict with myself, and if you know New York winters, you also don't really want to go outside during them. So if my friends wanted to go out, I would just invite them over to my house and we would do something much cheaper. I have $2,300 in medical debt from getting LASIK surgery, which I think was very worth it. So I financed the medical debt at 0%, so there's not really an incentive to pay it off any sooner. I would rather put that money towards my investment accounts where it could grow. The other fun fact about LASIK surgery is that in 5 minutes, I negotiated almost $2,000 off the price. So always negotiate your medical bills.
So there we go. So another quick good note that he made, and there's a third one that we spoke of. So now it's gonna be if you can finance it. Like for example, so here's the thing, guys. Here's the kicker. So he financed as a 0%. So basically, he got that loan for free, or if you will. So he doesn't basically pay anything on that. So, and that's what he's saying. So I don't have any incentive, and why it would be matter to me to pay it out like quickly. So right. So, and that's what he's saying. So like rather than just pay it off quickly, like even though I'm gonna pay it out, right? I'm gonna put the money into the account, investment account, where they can grow, instead of like just, pay. Like you can do it, it's not a problem. So for him, it's not a problem, and like if you have, it's not a big deal. Like, if you can afford it and then you can pay it out and do money management correctly, it's fine. I don't see a problem with that. This is great. And then he puts the money. This is great. Just, dude, fantastic.
My dad always owned his own businesses and he was constantly working, and so I think I got some of that work ethic. And then my grandmother was actually a Lithuanian refugee who was the hardest working person I ever met. I think I've always been a workaholic. I always have to have some kind of project that I'm working on. It's a very annoying habit I have. If we turn on Netflix, I'm going to be working while we're watching it. As a very young person, you do have to work extremely hard so that you can provide value to them and not just be, another warm body in the room. One of the companies I'm relaunching with my dad and uncle right now is called Ultra Hot, and it's essentially this pretty 80s surf culture-esque brand that does a lot of stickers and clothes. It's been a really great process to work with my dad and uncle on a brand that was very passionate to them in their early career and also was successful, sold over 1 million stickers in the 80s. Another side hustle I have is tutoring Chinese students on how to navigate the career process in the US. I work with them for $100 an hour to essentially go over lessons about what is the different paths to professional development in the US versus China and how they could start their careers here. The biggest splurge is definitely travel, but I do in a way where I'm getting a lot more value than what I'm actually spending on it. A lot of people found out that points was something that I was good at. Sometimes hotels that are $3,000 a night over water in the Maldives. On hotels like that, I actually don't spend a single dime because I'm able to use all of the points I get from work travel. I ended up starting a travel newsletter earlier this year where I give people tips and tricks on how to get the best value and how to navigate the system. And so I now have 350 people on the newsletter, which in retrospect is not that surprising given I'm giving people free things for no effort. Because I'm always on the road, I wanted to volunteer, but I found it very difficult to do. So I actually created a website called freeresumereviews.org, where anybody that makes under a certain amount of money a year or as a student could submit their resume, and either I would review it or another person I trusted a lot with career help would provide a free review. Over the next few years, I'm going to return to go get my MBA, which thankfully the firm will pay for the tuition if I am accepted into their program. And after that, I'm really looking into going into venture capital. I don't really have a target retirement date in mind. I think if I retired early, I would probably get very bored very quickly. So rather, I'm really just focusing on being financially independent, and I can do, whatever I choose to do, whether that's continuing a career in consulting or going into a different industry or living on a beach in Zanzibar.
Wow, ladies and gentlemen, this is amazing. That was a quickie one, for sure. Yo, this is great. So, I mean, this 5-minute video that they did is great. And there's a lot of condensed information here. So for specifically, I know we already learned 3 points here, right? So the fourth one that I wanted to mention is the hard working ethic. That's really good, and that's specifically that makes him like the money that he makes. So the workaholic is like, I wouldn't say it's like super bad. Like, I mean, if you can manage it and then don't go all the way in and then you suffer from it, don't do that. Like, seriously, don't do that. Hey, change it a little bit, just take a therapy or whatever. But to be a hardest worker in the room, this is good. So, and then obviously it pays off. Another prime example right here. So we can definitely see that it pays out for him. Not to being cliche, but seriously, hey, this is like, I sometimes see people that just like, it's not that just working for them, for some reason. So, and they just chill out. But anyway, so 4 points, and I think there's actually a fifth one that I kind of contemplating right now, but and that is to reuse the credit cards that he said. So for example, the travel that he does, that's a smart way to accumulate that. So the points, so for example, if you travel on a company or whatever, and then you tie up your credit card there, for example, with the benefits or what have you, like points or whatever, that's how you can live it. This is great. The guy is smart. The guy did what he needs to do, and hey, here's the results. It's fantastic. So I love that he was able to tie it up together. And yeah, so let's do a real quick review and see what we learned. So here we go, folks. Another successful gentleman in living in New York. I'm glad that he's looking ahead. He got plans to go for, and this is another point that pretty much good to have. Without the plans, kind of screwed up. So anyway, so we learned about the budget. We learned about to live in the budget or below. Actually, in this case, he was living below his paycheck, so his total paycheck, right? So he lives way beyond that. I think it's like 40% of total, whatever, kind of combination here and there, but nonetheless. So another point, and then obviously being smart with money, putting percentages together. Loan is being paid off, and he does investments, and so it doesn't trigger anything bad. So entertainment, on the entertainment part, I sometimes give a slack to people, so it's like here and there, it depends which one goes which. So but sometimes you can see there's real bad, like it's just going all the way through. It's like necessarily paying for Dom Perignon, whatever, so nonetheless, it's great to have entertainment, so sometimes we can give a slack or something, whatever. But nonetheless, so those are the points we learned. So, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. So it wasn't too long as we usually do, but this 5-minute condensed video from Make It a Millennial Money, this is great. So I actually like it. It's precise, on point, what needs to do. So we do a sort of a case study here. So I hope you like it. So like and subscribe below. See you guys later. I'm out. So that's pretty much what we learned today. Budget. I pretty much go budget all the time. But anyway, budget is good though. Work is good. And nonetheless, so we learned some few tricks of the trade, how to set yourself up to be successful in your life, so that you can be living better and better. So nonetheless, see you guys later. I'm out. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. See you guys later.